What's up, everybody, and welcome to ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news. I'm Drew Bolsley. You can find me on Twitter at ArtisticGamer28, and that's the one, the only. It is Scott Savage. You can find him on Twitter at Savage. Scott, happy Tuesday. It's Taco Tuesday, buddy. What's going on?
Oh, I've never indulged in a Taco Tuesday.
What? Seriously, man, this is nothing new. What? How do you not do that? We used to, we did it a lot.
I'm behind on a lot of things we just discussed. I haven't played Metal Gear Solid 4 yet. I've got a lot to do. A lot of catching up.
What is going on in Scott's world, everybody? What we don't know, but you can join us live 11 a.m. Eastern over on twitch.tv/the official ITG, as well as YouTube at ITG Reviews. But if you can't join us live, hit us up later inside the game.ca, podcast services, TV streaming networks around the globe. Scott, today, we just talked about it yesterday, and it's funny how this works because now Microsoft is now looking into bringing advertising into free-to-play games. What is going on with this industry right now?
Here it goes.
Absolutely. Will we see a sequel to Horizon Forbidden West? Yes. I'm telling you right now, we will see a sequel. And
I would bet my life savings on it.
Absolutely. Yeah. And Ghost of Tsushima is done. Finished. No more updates. Scott, we'll get into that one as well. We got a lot going on today.
I hope those two ideas cross. Ghost of Tsushima sequel? I think that's also a pretty good bet, if I had to bet.
If I was betting, man, I kind of am, honestly. I kind of am.
That's funny, actually. You kind of are. I get
it. Yep. Sometimes it doesn't work, though. I'll be honest. Sometimes it does. Scott, let's get into it. Microsoft is considering in-game ads for free-to-play titles. Report Xbox maker would not take revenue cut and limit ads to a select group of brands at first. This comes from Brendan Sinclair over at gamesindustry.biz. Microsoft is considering making another run at in-game ads, according to a Business Insider report citing multiple sources. As spotted by VGC, the outlet reports that Microsoft is looking at integrating ads for real-world products in free-to-play titles. Initially, the Xbox maker would not take a cut of the revenue developers raise with such ads and would only allow ads from selected brands so as to ensure efforts don't disrupt the gameplay experience. Dude, this is what we talked about yesterday, but I'm going to continue the article before we get into it because, man, we had a lot to say about it yesterday and we got a lot more to say about it now. What the heck's going on? One example given was the placing real-world ads in a racing title in-game billboards. Much as Barack Obama had billboards placed in Burnout Paradise during the 2008 U.S. presidential campaign.
The one. It was 2008, and it was Burnout. I knew I remembered that.
That's funny. Microsoft is no stranger to the concept, having acquired in-game ad firm Massive Inc. for a sum of reportedly between $200 million and $400 million in 2006. Massive actually handled the Obama ads in the Xbox 360 version of Burnout Paradise. However, the in-game ad model Massive pursued didn't materialize as the company hoped, and Microsoft shut down its third-party in-game ad business in 2010. Scott, what is going on?
Man. Oh, man. It's not something that I can get excited about. And I'm wondering, what is Xbox going to do specifically? Because it's other real-world items. It's not like they're advertising their own systems. As annoying as that would be. Can you imagine loading up MLB and around the areas, get Game Pass? That would be
well, I could honestly, you could see that though, couldn't you? I could honestly
in a sports
see
game
that.
Or in a racing game is actually the two best examples I can think of.
Well, yesterday we talked about Fortnite being one of the other examples of, all of a sudden a billboard pops up and there's an ad on it, right? We talked about PlayStation looking at this business model as well, and now we're getting here with Xbox considering doing something similar again with one of their own firms that they just shut down in 2010. And now they're looking at it once again. The ad business is a tricky business. It's a finicky kind of thing. How do you bring in advertising that just isn't so intrusive, that takes you out of that experience? Microsoft, I think, doing it right, would take the opportunity to make sure it's the right ad for the right game. And they said free to play, right? So automatically you think free to play, you're going Call of Duty, which they now own. Like there's... Hello, and Fortnite, right? Like there's two of the biggest free-to-play games around. Can they bring that over?
Oh no, Halo Infinite. What are we gonna see? What's
Scott,
the first ad we see in Halo Infinite?
More bunny ears.
Oh no. I was thinking if they try and launch the next Hummer with it and they show it, it kind of looks like a warthog. There's ways you can make that work, but
Sure. Oh man, okay. So are you concerned at all, Scott, moving forward with Xbox now, looking at the opportunity to bring in this free to play model of advertising, which again might go well, right? Okay, go ahead.
It's a little safer in free to plays, but I'm worried about the kind of mainline releases that we've been waiting forever for. There's not much opportunity to advertise in Fable. But okay, let me set the scene for you. You're coming in on the Vertibird, and it's perfect dark, and you're coming in on Datadyne Central, and there's just a big Coca-Cola. Okay, that's maybe not the worst, but Coca-Cola is just the foot in the door. What are they going to come up with after that? Is it going to be Manscaped? Is that what I'm looking at?
Oh, dude, can you imagine?
As Joanna Dark, that's going to be a little weird.
Okay, so this now just turned into an ITG segment we have to do on the show, Scott. The worst advertising placements in video games. We have to, we'll be bringing. Look for that one in the future at InsideTheGame.ca. Man, but that is something that now they can look into, right? Advertising is a big money maker. People are always looking for sponsorships, and how can they integrate that into different ways? And PlayStation touched on it. That it was, there's more people now with the eyes on video games than ever before, and they stayed locked onto it at the same time, right? They don't drift out as you do on your phone when you're going through TikTok or Instagram or whatever. It was just scroll. You're literally right there, right? You are the protagonist or the antagonist, depending on what kind of game you're playing, or who knows what you're doing. Maybe it's a battle royale, and the way you go. But you're going to see that, and it's going to catch your eye. But like you said yesterday, dude, when's the last time you saw an advertisement in a game, and did you even pay attention to it?
Yeah. Oh, I'm thinking of Dead Island, actually. My favorite zombie series by far. Forever.
Rest in peace.
They'll never make a better one than Dead Island Riptide. It hurts me when you say that. But there's energy drink all around to restore your health. You're drinking energy drinks. And if that was a rock star, okay. I'm okay with that. If I'm drinking Monster Energy to turn into the Hulk, there's ways you can make it work. But I don't know if it's going to be that open to the developer side where they can kind of play with the companies to bring in the right ads, or if it's just going to be the company. All right, write us this many spots for ads. In the same way that they do with TV.
Dude, this could really work in the favor of Psyonix, right? With Rocket League. This could be a huge money get for Rocket League to bring in. They have a massive player base. If they can bring in on their stadiums, a billboard flashes up with an ad. Does it really interfere with your game? Not really. I wouldn't think, right? Like, I'm trying to think if it would. All of a sudden, you get flashed. You lose the ball. But they could do a lot.
I thought of something. They're going to have to lean way far away from presidential campaigns, though.
Oh, absolutely.
That is an area of media you do not want to be in, I think, since 2012.
No,
I feel like there's another swing coming back around. You know what I mean? In 2 years, and that I don't want to see every game that has those ads get banned from existence.
Well, yeah, exactly. But I think there's a huge opportunity there for Rocket League. I think it makes a lot of sense, right? They have the billboards. You put them in the background and generate more money to keep that game and that community alive. I think there's opportunity there. That's what I said. If it's done correctly and it doesn't interfere with the experience, then it makes a lot of sense. But like you say, dude, you put it in Fable. Wow. No, don't do that. Please don't do that.
I'm thinking music, actually, because I'm thinking back to NHL 07 when I listened to that, or I played that, and some of the music got in my head. As a teen, I later on downloaded all that stuff because it worked. So what if they do something like that, Rocket League, and they go, hey, have you heard the latest, whatever, and they throw the song at you.
Oh, there you go.
That could be all right.
That's right. We'll take our cut. That's our percentage.
As long as it's not Travis Scott.
No, we're not going to do that. Dude, let's move on from that one. Now let's get into, will there be a Horizon Forbidden West sequel?
Can't let me linger on any one thing for too long.
Absolutely not. The game's creative director certainly seems to think so. It sure sounds like we're going to be getting more Aloy and friends in the future. This comes from Dom over at VG247. Horizon is really about mystery. Each of our stories, this comes actually from a quote from the director. I didn't put his name in there. My bad.
Matthias de Jong.
Thank you. dude, it doesn't matter. Horizon is really about mystery. Each of our stories has been about uncovering mysteries in both the old world and the present day when the games take place. Explains Matthias. Thanks. Yeah, all I do is read a little bit, apparently. That's all right. We got it. We got there. Now, quote, indeed, there's plenty of backstory, and we can tap into and to develop a new storyline to create new mysteries from what we've already established. And indeed, this game ends with another big cliffhanger. Yep, without a doubt. We are not going to spoil it.
I had some questions for you, and you said no, play the game. So
without a doubt, I was not even questioning whether there's going to be a sequel to this game or any opportunity.
Sequel or prequel?
No, it will be a sequel.
Okay.
I will spoil that. You will not go, well,
because what I'm thinking is, you know much more about the game than I do.
Sure.
But how was it 100 years since the fall, the collapse, that Aloy comes to the surface? He gets out there again.
Well,
or is this 200 years, 300 years? I'm thinking, is this like a Fallout amount of time or a short few years?
No, this is a short
There's
period.
generations and generations they could do to fill in that backstory. Different factions warring. Why? There's lots of stuff.
If they go off of the ending of Horizon Forbidden West, right? No spoilers. You don't have to worry about that. There are opportunities to then pick this up right after where that ended. That's the biggest thing. The way they left that is this now continues on, right? They did Zero Dawn, which then continues. You saw Aloy grow up, right? You saw her become her own character, and by the end of that game, we get in her Forbidden West, which then continues on after Zero Dawn. Now they leave this on the cliffhanger of, okay, I don't think we'll be too long after where that game ends, where the next one takes off, right? To make a prequel won't make any sense. If you play the game, I think you understand where I'm coming from. You wouldn't be able to tie in a prequel to that. I think if you're going to do something completely different, you're taking off with one of the characters you've gained from Forbidden West and going out with a side story of some sort, right? There, you could take in some of the other tribes and where they came from and some of the other elements. I don't want to get into the spoilers because if you haven't played it, man, go play my game of the year.
There is a large focus on the outer world and the kind of tribal stuff. I do know that.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. So there are opportunities out
the
there.
Questions are swirling in my head.
Dude,
right
you
now.
gotta play.
You know the end, and I do not. And
it hurts, doesn't it? Yeah, there is.
I feel like I'm outside the party listening.
There is a conclusion to the story in the first game in Horizon Zero Dawn, but Aloy doesn't solve all the problems that are basically set up in the story. Continues Matthias, and at that point, there's still a terraform system that needs repairing. And this is kind of where things kind of take off and move forward with Forbidden West. And then after that wraps up, dude, there's opportunities and just other things that they could really do to bring in the next one. How far do they push that one to the future? Do they go back a little bit? There's a lot going on, and I don't want to spoil it because, yeah, the game isn't exactly new anymore, but I know there's definitely people who have not played it, and they should.
You gave me a thought there. The way Gears of War did it, where they came out with Gears of War Judgment, but that had the tail end of Gears of War 3 in it.
There you go.
And so it was kind of, they could do something like that where they kind of cap off the ending of Forbidden West and then give you a whole side story. That would be really interesting. Dude, I want to know more about the Horizon universe. I'm really into that.
Well, so man, because this really ties into what happened and what's going on and how that the universe is kind of expanding in a sense, and touches on a whole bunch of stuff. I'm done, Scott. We got to move on before I spoil something. Because just go play the game. So if you haven't played it, I'm telling you, it's my game of the year. I am this close to getting the platinum now because they fixed my Zoe patch, which had me in a whole other location, which I was not able to go do. And since then, I now have that trophy. So I'm back on the road to my Forbidden West platinum, thankfully, because I was real worried I was not going to get that one, Scott. But definitely, dude, so far, it is my game of the year, without a doubt.
Oh, yeah. It has one competitor, and it'll be interesting to see how that works out.
I think the competitor's going to take it. There's no doubt. Everybody played Elden Ring. That is no secret whatsoever. But for me personally, it is Horizon Forbidden West. But Scott, another fantastic game coming out of PlayStation was Sucker Punch, which isn't actively working on any more patches for Ghost of Tsushima. Unfortunately, that game is done. They are finished. They're
another
moving
one
on.
I want to get in and around and all over. I love the look of this game.
Earlier last week, Sucker Punch released patch 2.18 for Ghost of Tsushima, and according to the developer, it has no more plans for patches. In the patch notes, Sucker Punch said it isn't, quote, actively working on any additional patches at the moment, end quote. Though it did say that it would, quote, monitor feedback on the community, run GOT Legends subreddit. There you go. Keep an eye on that one. And any messages sent to the studio's Twitter account for any big bugs or issues. So they're there to fix if anything kind of pops up. But really, dude, they're moving on to the sequel. That's exactly what they're doing right now. They're moving on over to the world of Ghost of Tsushima 2. That's what I want to see.
I can offer my compliments to their Twitter page, and somebody will see it.
Which is awesome.
I like the idea of that because I want to. All right, where's that movie? Where's that second movie? Where's the show? I want to see the sequel. I've got lots of ideas, and I'm always itching to pitch them to the dev team.
Dude, that's the biggest thing, that they are going into the world of a movie, though, right? We all know that they're working on a movie for the game. That is, I think, one of the advantages that PlayStation brings over top of Xbox is that they moved into the television side of things as well. So there's huge opportunity there to kind of play off of their IP, their strong IP, which kind of I keep going back into the back of my mind going, Days Gone, dude, did just as well as Ghost of Tsushima. But yeah, that's where
a movie based on Days Gone could be really good.
Absolutely.
Well, maybe there's a lot of filler. You'd have to cut out all the open road sections, but
yeah. But okay, so now there's rumors of Sony Ben working on a siphon filter. Let's go. Bring that one back, baby. I'm ready.
God of War movie coming down as well. Christopher Judge, please. I hope Christopher Judge has that secured.
Yeah. Man, he would fit that so well, wouldn't he?
I have a feeling they're going to put Dave Bautista in there or something, which I'm sure he would do a good job at, but it's just not what I see.
Nah, I don't think I'd like
Christopher Judge has been in my head since I was 14 years old, so that's why I believe he should be Kratos.
Dude, God of War 2018 is so good. I can't wait for Ragnarok. Will we get that this year?
Oh, we're not yet halfway through the year. It's not impossible.
Yeah,
but I'm kind of thinking what's going to happen with Forbidden West. Your guess on Forbidden West? Maybe not the end of this year. Maybe just a few months into 2023.
I honestly, I don't think we'll see it this year. I really don't. I think if we don't see anything of God of War by the end of, I say midway through summer, we're not getting that game, dude. I think they're gonna push it to 2023. Take their time, please, by all means, they can take their time. I am in no rush to play. Well, of course I'm in a rush. I want to play that game right now. However, I want to make sure it's perfect. And
don't release it as a games of service. That relates to another topic we're going to cover on the show. But so I'm not going to get into it too big. But other than that, would be could possibly be lackluster, and I don't want to see that with this flagship.
No, not at all. Dude, let's move on to the next topic because we have Xbox veteran remembers trying to buy Blizzard long before the big Activision Blizzard deal. Over 2 decades ago, Blizzard could have been part of Microsoft. This is according to George Yang over at IGN. Former Xbox Vice President Ed Fries says,
I like that name.
I like it too, actually.
I do not often find somebody with a stronger name than I'd have.
Than Savage. It's hard to beat.
Though,
dude, Bosley. What's wrong with Bosley? Come on. I'll take my beautiful
Bosley
son.
reminds me of like a nice vacation. You stretch and you're like, yeah,
I'll see you on the beach. Now, Ed Fries says that he tried to buy Blizzard multiple times back during his tenure at Microsoft before he left in 2004. In a podcast with Xbox era, Fries implied that the acquisition would have made sense given Microsoft's history with the PC gaming platform, saying, quote, I was a huge Blizzard fan. If you think about the roots of PC gaming business, it was real-time strategy. Warcraft, of course, was their biggest product, end quote. Back in 1994, learning software company Davidson and Associates acquired Blizzard, which was named Chaos Studio back then. In 1996, Davidson and Associates was acquired by Cedent Software, which Fries recalls losing out on, saying, quote, I just got outbid by a timeshare camping business. That sucks. Dude, this is something they've wanted for a long time.
Well, it makes sense because of how huge Blizzard blew up with World of Warcraft specifically.
Yep.
I'm still really mad about Warcraft 3. I want
Uh-huh.
Warcraft 4 to come out and just throw Warcraft 3 out. Just forget about it. Just ignore it. I know that's an unpopular opinion. It stands on its own, but it's just different than the Warcraft I want to see. I want Warcraft 2, the sequel.
Oh, that's fair.
Warcraft 2.
They've been doing Warcraft for so long. I'm surprised there hasn't been something else, right? They just keep updating and updating. And I know a lot of people are like, hey, this is kind of going really long in the tooth. How long can they keep carrying this game over and over and over without actually bringing something fresh and brand new? Now, granted, I am not a part of this game. I've never played it. I'm not a part of the community. This is from me looking on the inside, from the outside, looking in, kind of thing, and seeing the feedback, right?
So much. They've added so much that they've had to roll it back and have just vanilla version of World of Warcraft online because people don't like the additions. It's been around for so long that I guess you can't really please everybody. And I had a thought. I had to look it up. Warcraft 3 came out when I was 10 years old in 2002. Maybe that's why I don't appreciate it so much. I went from Warcraft 2 into adulthood.
Well, maybe that's just it. Scott, there is one topic I want to get to before this wraps up, and this is someone who's been around for a very long time. It is Patrick Plure departs Ubisoft after 19 years stint. Developer exits company after working on Watch Dogs, Far Cry, and Assassin's Creed, and having served on an editorial team. This comes from Jeffrey Russo over at GamesIndustry.biz. Last week, longtime Ubisoft developer Patrick Plure announced that he would be leaving the company to create an independent creative consultancy. Having made the announcement on LinkedIn, Plure departs the gaming firm after nearly 20 years. Quote, "Now, I'm happy to share that I'm starting my own independent creative consultancy where I will be keep working with Ubisoft and also spend time on some personal projects," end quote. He said in the post. Throughout his career, he's worked on franchises such as Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. Yo, dude, Assassin's Creed, one of my favorites. We all know it, but Brotherhood, wow, man, I love that game. Watch Dogs and Far Cry. Scott, another person. This is the weirdest thing for me. I've known within the last month, I've had 3 people that I've known for a very long time. Sorry, 2 people I've known for a very long time leave Ubisoft, and now Patrick leaves as well. There's a lot of turnover right now going on with Ubisoft. I think people are getting there. They're there, and I was talking to a couple of them, right? And it's just Adam Kleiman, friend of the show, just dude, it was not an easy decision whatsoever. It was just something. It was time for a change, right? When you were there for so long, sometimes it's just new. You need something fresh, something new and exciting. Yeah, and I think that's kind of what that stands here too.
Well, what a resume, though. Assassin's Creed, Watch Dogs, Far Cry. I made a remark. The only thing he's missing is Rayman, and that's like a whole huge flagship of Ubisoft. What a good career, though. After 20 years. And he is absolutely qualified to be a consultant.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. No, definitely. We'll keep an eye on what Patrick is up to.
I just hope it's not a sign of what's going on inside Ubisoft.
Well, that's me. That's my fear too. And I was talking to somebody else who was work that I've known for a very long time, and he said it was just time for something different. That's really what it came down to. Nothing wrong with the company. It was just time for a change. So
that's good. I hope to hear that.
That's hopeful, right?
Archers, yeah.
Absolutely. Scott, we do have one something out today. What do we have?
We have Playdate. You told me about this just before we went live here, and I still have a lot of questions in my head, but let's see if this describes anything about it. Panic is thrilled to announce that Playdate, their unique video game handheld system with a crank, again, questioning, will begin shipping to pre-order holders in Group 1 today. Panic has released their second Playdate update video showcase, mostly serving as a catch-up to all of the developer news they announced earlier this year. I missed that announcement. I don't recall this one, but is this a camping video game system? You crank it.
Dude, it is a weird system, but what isn't weird?
The game system for the end times.
That's just it, buddy. But what is ending is our show, because this has been ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news. You can catch us live over on twitch.tv/the official ITG, as well as YouTube at ITG Reviews. But if you can't join us live, hit us up later inside the game.ca, podcast services, TV streaming networks around the globe. We are everywhere, so make sure you check us out. Until tomorrow, everybody, I'm Drew, that's Scott, and we'll see you inside the game.